Okay. So, hello guys. Good day ulit. So, taxation tayo ngayon. So, sa last discussion natin, which is yung general principles, diniscuss natin what is taxation itself, then what is tax. So, sa ngayon, for this video, daanan lang natin what is income nga ba? Ano nga ba si income? Okay, so income as defined by the tax law. These are, unang-una dyan, sabi ni tax code, income is a financial gain received or an increase in net worth of a taxpayer. Whether from legal or illegal sources. So, ulitin lang natin ang sabi ni tax code. Income is a financial gain that was received, or pwede ding increase in the net worth of a taxpayer. Ngayon, whether from legal or illegal sources. Ang sinasabi lang, kahit yung income mo nanggaling from legal or illegal sources, basta merong financial gain, basta merong increase in the net worth, those are income. Ngayon, kapag usapang taxpayer, sa tax code, dalawang taxpayer natin. Meron tayong natural persons or juridical persons. Actually, hindi lang to sa tax law. Pati sa RFBT natin, ito yung mga persons natin. Meron kang natural persons, meron kang juridical persons. Natural persons, ito tayo. Yan yung tao na may sariling buhay, may puso, may isip, may mata. Kung walang mata, baka bulag. Juridical persons, ito, person siya, under the eyes of law. Sabi ni batas, tao ito. Pero, hindi yan natural being. Wala yang flesh itself. Anong meron dyan? Anong example niyan? Corporations. Pwede ding partnership. Yan yung mga juridical persons. Tao siya sa mata ni batas. Sa mata natin, ito lang yung tao, natural person. Yung nakikita mo, yung classmate mo, yung kaibigan mo. Si juridical persons, tao lang sa mata ni batas. Okay? Since person siya sa mata ni batas, sabi niya, meron siyang rights katulad ng rights na meron tayo. Kung meron tayong right na magkaroon ng asset, si juridical person meron ding right magkaroon ng asset. Meron tayong right para mangutang, mag-incur ng liability, si juridical person meron din right magkaroon ng utang. Kung si natural person merong right kumita ng pera, kumita ng income, magkaroon ng income, si juridical person meron din ganoong right. Okay, so sa mata ni batas, meron tayong natural persons or juridical persons. Ngayon, si taxation actually, yung tax topic natin, income taxation itself, dalawa yung taxation na i-discuss natin dyan kasi meron tayong individual taxation, which is ito din yung topic natin mamaya, dadaanan na natin ito, pero hindi pa lahat. Then meron tayong corporate taxation. So yung individual taxation, yan yung tax rules na i-discuss natin for natural persons. Yung mga individuals, tayo yan. Pag corporate taxations, yan yung mga juridical entities, juridical persons. Number one example nga yan, corporations. Basta ulitin ko lang, yung taxpayers, yung tao na required na pwedeng i-tax, yung tao na kailangan magbayad ng tax, it's either natural or juridical person, or pwede nating sabihin, it's either individual or corporate taxpayers. Okay, so this is the definition of income. Financial gain, pwede ding increase in the net worth ng taxpayer whether from legal or illegal sources. Okay? Okay, yan si income. Sources of income tayo. Saan nga ba nanggagaling ang income? Paano ba tayo nagkakaroon ng income? Una, pwedeng meron kang capital or pwedeng nagbigay ka ng labor kaya nagkaroon ka ng income. Paanong capital, sir? Capital, ito, investment yan. Nagbigay ka ng pera, nag-invest ka sa isang bagay, yung investment mo nag-incur ng profit. Nag-incur ng profit. Ano si labor? Yan. Nagbigay ka ng service, nag-perform ka ng service, nagkaroon ng compensation. Sahod, salary. Yung compensation na yan, sa mata ni batas, ni taxation, income tayo. Ang topic natin ngayon, yung buong topic natin for this video, income taxation. Tama? Kaya dinidefine natin si income itself. Okay, so dalawa yung sources of income natin. Pwedeng nanggaling yan sa capital kasi nag-invest ka. Sa labor kasi nag-perform ka ng service. Yung income na yon through the form of compensation. Okay? Sige. Balikan lang natin si financial gain. Kapag usapang financial gain, very important, very crucial na alam mo yung difference ng return on capital and return of capital. Okay, kailangan alam mo yung difference yan. Tatlong words. Tama, return on capital, return of capital. Ano yung difference? Yung on o yung off. Pero napakalaki ng difference niya. Iba na yung definition yan in itself. Iba na yung definition yan kaagad. Kasi kapag sinabi mong return on capital, interchangeably, pwede natin yan tawagin as return on investment. Okay? Si return on capital, yan, meron kang gains from capital. Nag-invest ka, nagbigay ka ng capital, nagkaroon ng gain yung capital mo, yung na-receive mo na income or pera or income or property, those are gains. Return on capital yun. Yung return of capital, ito, capital recovery lang. Capital recovery lang tayo dyan. Pwede din nating i-define or i-differentiate siya na si return on capital, those are the fruits. Si return of capital, ito yung trees. Bunga to, trees ito. Okay? Ngayon, any return of capital or any income is, tatandaan mo lagi, generally they are taxable. Kapag return of capital, since capital recovery lang yan, income taxation tayo. Walang income dyan. Binalik lang yung capital na ininvest mo. So wala kang profit, wala kang income. Ibig sabihin dito, they are not taxable. Okay, so kailangan mong malaman, return on capital ba yan or return of capital yan? Kasi pag return on capital, may gains ka dyan, may fruits ka dyan, taxable yan. Pag return of capital, balik taya ka lang dyan, wala kang profit dyan, trees lang yung nakuha mo, not taxable tayo dyan. Kung bibigyan natin ng illustration, let's say for example, si Mr. P nag-invest kay, sige, para maiba daw, McDo na lang. Si Mr. P nag-invest kay McDo ng 100,000. Si McDo, during 2025, binigay or nagbigay ng 50,000 kay Mr. P. Yung 50,000 na yan, yung composition daw ng 50,000 na yan, 25,000 is, sabihin na natin, interest income. Interest daw doon sa 100,000 na binigay na profit or na capital. Then yung another 25,000 daw, ayaw na daw niya ng utang. Sabihin na natin utang yan. Ayaw na daw niya ng utang na loob kay Mr. P. Binabalik na yung ibinigay niya sa inyong 100,000 ni McDo. Ibinabalik na ni McDo yung binigay sa kanyang 100,000 ni Mr. P. 25,000 is a capital. Recovery of capital. Capital recovery. So for the purpose of income taxation, yung 25,000, taxable yan. Yung 25,000 na isa, which is capital recovery, yes, na-receive mo yung 25,000 na cash, pero hindi nag-increase yung net worth natin. hindi ka nagkaroon ng financial gain. So, nagkaroon ka ng additional cash, naka-receive ka ng cash na 25,000, pero hindi yun financial gain. Hindi yun income, hence hindi yan taxable. Okay, so kailangan mong malaman yung difference kung return on capital or return of capital, kasi yung income, yung return on capital, yun lang yung taxable under income taxation. Yung return of capital, hindi yan taxable. So, dito tayo magfo-focus sa income taxation. Itong mga taxable income natin. Kasi itong mga return of capital, wala na yan. Okay, hindi nga yan ita-tax. Dadaanan na lang natin mamaya or sa susunod pa na discussions, yung mga income, nagkaroon ka ng income pero hindi siya taxable kasi exempted siya, specifically provided exempted siya, sabi ni tax law. Okay, basta lagi mo tatandaan, kung merong income, general rule natin is taxable. Exceptions to the rule, meron kang income pero exempted, hindi taxable. Pero itong exemption na to dapat specifically provided. Sinabi mismo ni batas, sinabi mismo ni tax code, sinabi mismo ni tax law na yung income na yan exempted. Pag walang sinabi sa batas, huwag kang mag-assume na may exception ka. Pag meron kang income, ang lagi mong assumption, matatax kanila. Okay? Sana malinaw yan. Sige. So, usapan na tayo. Napag-discuss na natin si income. Ang tanong ngayon, taxation. How does this income is being taxed? Paano ba yan tinatax? Una, tinatax yan pwede under schedular system of taxation. Schedular system of taxation, then pangalawa is yung global system of taxation. Si schedular system of taxation dito, tatandaan mo lang na meron ditong imposed na specific tax rates. Kapag sinabing specific tax rate, ito, binigay mismo or fixed yung percentage of tax. Number one example niyan is si final withholding tax and si capital gains tax. Final withholding tax, capital gains tax. Basta alamin mo na lang, basta tandaan mo na lang muna. Meron tayong tinatawag na schedular system of taxation na yung specific tax rate is fixed yung percentage. Subject sa specific tax rate, yung mga income na ito, yung mga income na to na subject sa schedular system is subject sa specific tax rates. Okay, subject sa specific tax rates. Fix yung percentage. Number one example, si final withholding tax and si capital gains tax. Siguro sa ngayon, nalilito ka pa, hindi mo pa ma-imagine kasi hindi mo pa alam kung ano si final withholding tax and si capital gains tax, pero mamaya, i-discuss na rin natin yung isa dyan. Huwag kang munang magmamadali. Makinig ka lang muna. Trust the process. Okay? Ngayon, ano si global system, sir? Si global system, dito, residual definition yan. Kapag hindi yan schedular system, global system of taxation yan. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi fix yung percentage, naka-global system tayo. Okay? Lagi mong tatandaan kapag ka-global system dito, all income that are not covered by schedular system, lahat ng income na hindi pasok sa schedular system is subject sa global system. Si global system dito, hahanapin mo, we need to compute for the gross income and deduct allowable deductions from it. Okay, hanapin mo yung gross income, tapos mag-deduct ka ng allowable deduction. Si allowable deduction, separate topic natin yan. kumalma ka muna. Si gross income, separate topic din natin yan. Kalma ka lang muna. Okay? Gross income, less allowable deductions para mahanap mo si taxable income. Okay? Kung bibigyan natin yan ng formula, ganito yan actually. Si Global System of Taxation, meron kang gross income less allowable deduction is equal to net taxable income. Ganyan yan. So, yung income na to, itong income na to, yan yung ito-tax natin. So, kung alam mo yung percentage na, so tax rate tayo, naka-percentage yan, i-multiply mo yan ng ganyan, makakompute mo dito yung tax due natin. Okay, tapos meron ka na lang less tax credit, masasolve mo yung net tax payable natin, pero hayaan muna natin yan na ganyan. Okay, yan yung pro forma natin actually. Pag nagsosolve tayo ng income tax or ng income tax under global system. Kasi yung scheduler system, ganito lang yan, income times yung percentage kasi nga naka-fix yan. It's either final withholding tax or capital gains tax. Tapos masasolve mo na si tax due or si tax payable. Okay, yan lang muna. Hindi ko man naguguluhin yung utak mo. Iwanan muna natin yan na nakahanging dyan. Okay, ihang muna natin yan. So ngayon, mag-focus tayo sa types of income. Kita kanina, ano yung diniscuss natin? Sources of income. Saan pwedeng manggaling ang income natin? Pwedeng from capital or from investment or pwedeng from labor, performance of services. Ngayon, yung income natin, generally, okay, pwede natin siyang i-classify according to their type sa taxation sa dalawang klase. Una, meron kang taxable income. Then pangalawa, meron kang non-taxable income. Okay, yung income natin, pwedeng taxable and pwedeng non-taxable. Okay, ang general rule natin, ito, tama, basta may income ka, i-tax mo yan. Exceptions lang, ito, na dapat specifically provided, sinabi sa batas, na hindi taxable yung income na yan. Okay? Okay. Okay, sige. Itong exceptions na to, one major reason bakit meron tayong non-taxable income. Meron kang income na na-receive pero hindi siya taxable under Philippine taxation. It's because of our territoriality theory. Okay, dahil sa territoriality theory yan. Theoretical jurisdiction. Anong sinasabi sa theoretical or territoriality theory? Sabi dyan, what is mine is mine. What is yours is yours. Okay, ganyan yan. Territoriality jurisdiction. Binabakuran mo. Ano yung sa akin ay sa akin, ano yung sayo, yun yung sayo. Kung i-relate natin sa taxation in legal terms, or kung i-relate natin sa taxation, merong Philippines, merong foreign countries. Okay, merong Philippines, merong foreign countries. Andito si Mr. P. Si Mr. P, merong na-earned na income from Philippines. Si Mr. P, merong na-receive din na income from foreign countries. Ang sabi, sa territoriality theory, yung sa akin ay sa akin, yung sayo ay sayo. Yung kay Pilipinas ay Pilipinas, yung kay foreign country ay kay foreign country. Yung income na na-receive ni Mr. P kay Pilipinas, income yan sa Pilipinas. Ibig sabihin, ito, taxable kay Pilipinas. Yung income na na-receive ni Mr. P kay foreign country, hindi yan kay Pilipinas. Ibig sabihin, hindi yan taxable kay Pilipinas. Taxable yan kanino? Sa foreign country. In short, si Pilipinas, ang pakikialaman lang yung income from Philippines. Yung income na hindi nanggaling sa kanya, walang pakialam dyan si Pilipinas. Territoriality theory. What is mine is mine. What is yours? It's yours. Okay? Okay. Kaya meron tayong taxable and non-taxable income. Yan yung isang major reason based sa territoriality theory. Pero marami pang exceptions. We will go over it as we discuss the whole topic income taxation. Sa ngayon, dito ka muna. Sige. Si taxable income, pwede natin yang i-subclassify. Okay? Types of taxable income. Ano nga ba yung mga taxable income natin? Unang-unang taxable income mo is from ordinary income. Pangalawa, enumerate muna natin lahat, is meron kang taxable income from passive income. Then pangatlo, from capital gains. Passive income, income mo from little no effort. Okay, nag-invest ka, nagkaroon ka ng interest, nagkaroon ka ng dividends, passive income yun. Meron kang income, wala kang ginawa. Capital gains, dito, meron kang income na na-receive, hindi from passive income, wala ka ding business, capital gains yun. Yung mga income na hindi from passive income and hindi from capital gains, papasok yun sa ordinary income. Ibig sabihin si ordinary income, residual definition yan. Lahat ng income na hindi kasama sa passive income and hindi kasama sa capital gains, pasok yan dito sa ordinary income. Okay? Okay. Ngayon, from these types of taxable income, pwede natin i-classify yung types of taxes based dito sa mga income na to. Okay? Kasi yung types of taxes natin, for individual taxpayers and corporate taxpayers, tatlo lang naman kasi din yan. Nandyan si regular income tax. Shortcutin natin, tawagin natin siya as RIT. Then pangalawa, si final withholding tax. Dito, shortcutin din natin siya, tawagin natin as FWT. Then pangatlo, si capital gains tax. Shortcutin din natin, tawagin natin siya as CGT. Okay? Yung income mo from capital gains, subject yan dito sa capital gains tax. Pero yung list ng capital gains tax natin, dalawa lang yan. Yung ibang income mo from capital gains, papasok mo yan dito sa regular income tax. Ulitin natin, mayroon kang capital gains. Yung capital gains mo, it's either subject yan sa capital gains tax or subject sa regular income tax. Yung capital gains tax, mayroong list yan. Dalawa lang naman yan. Lahat ng hindi kasama sa list, subject sa regular income tax. Okay? Si final withholding tax naman, or si passive income naman, subject yan dito sa final withholding tax. Ngayon, yung final withholding tax, mayroon ding list yan. Okay? Kapag hindi kasama sa list ng final withholding tax, pero meron kang na-incur na passive income pa rin siya or part pa rin siya ng passive income, tax mo yan dito sa regular income tax. Ulitin natin, same sa capital gains tax, meron kang passive income, subject yun sa final withholding tax, pero merong listo, i-discuss natin yan mamaya, list ng final withholding tax. Kapag hindi kasama sa final withholding tax, or hindi kasama sa list ng final withholding tax, ipasok mo yan sa regular income tax. Okay? Ngayon yung ordinary income, taxable lang lahat dito sa regular income tax. Kuha natin. Okay. Types of income natin, dalawa. It's either taxable or non-taxable. Yung taxable income, yung types of taxable income natin, it's either ordinary income, passive income, and capital gains. Ngayon, based dito sa taxable income or sa types ng taxable income natin, alam na natin, ma-identify natin na meron din tayong tatlong types of taxes. Nandyan si RIT, FWT, and CGT. Okay, lahat ng income mo from capital gains, subject yan sa capital gains tax. Pero may list lang to, lahat ng hindi kasama sa list, subject sa regular income tax. Yung passive income, merong list din yan na subject sa final withholding tax. Pag hindi kasama sa final withholding tax, subject sa regular income tax. Ngayon yung ordinary income, lahat ng income from ordinary income, subject sa regular income tax. Kuha natin. Sige. So, yan for the types of taxes. So, let's move on. Let's move on sa talagang topic natin for this day, which is si individual taxation. Individual taxation or the individual taxpayers. Okay? Kapag usapang individual taxpayers, si individual, okay, tayo na natural person, pwede natin siyang i-classify into either, number 1, meron tayong resident citizen. Number 2, merong non-resident citizen. 3, merong mga resident alien. Pag sinabing alien, yan yung mga foreigner. Pero sa taxation, tinatawag sila as alien. Okay, number 4, non-resident alien. Yung non-resident alien, actually dalawa yan, which is yan yung number 4, non-resident alien that are engaged in trade or business. Then number 5, yung last classification for individual taxation, or individual taxation, is si non-resident alien that is not engaged in trade or business. Okay, masyadong mahaba. Shortcutin natin. Si resident citizen, tawagin natin as RC. Non-resident citizen, tawagin natin as NRC. Resident alien, tawagin natin as RA. Non-resident alien, engaged, tawagin natin NRA. ETB. Si non-resident alien not engaged, NRA. NETB. Okay, so yan yung mga classifications of individuals natin. So, differentiate natin. Sir, ano ba yung resident citizen na yan? Si resident citizen, ikaw yan, citizen ka, kapag sinabing citizen ka, Filipino ka. Okay? Filipino ka, resident, ibig sabihin, nakatira. Filipino na nakatira saan? Sa Pilipinas. Okay? Resident citizen, Filipino na nakatira sa Pilipinas. Number 1 example niyan, syempre, ikaw. Pangalawa, non-resident citizen. Ano yan? Citizen, ibig sabihin, Filipino yan. Okay, Filipino yan na non-resident, ibig sabihin hindi nakatira. Pilipino na hindi nakatira sa Pilipinas. Unang example niyan, OFW. Ano pa? Yung mga immigrant. Okay? OFW or pwedeng immigrant. Merong definition na binigay dito si tax code mismo, nasa book na yan, pakibasa na lang. Okay? Ngayon dito, meron lang tayong threshold. Let's say for example, hindi sinabi yung OFW, hindi sinabing immigrant yung taxpayer, pero Filipino citizen daw siya. Paano natin malalaman kung non-resident yung Filipino na yun? Depende sa date. Okay? Kung yung Filipino na yan is nag-stay outside the Philippines for an aggregate, dapat tatandaan mo for an aggregate, dapat pinagsama-sama or pwedeng pagsamahin, hindi pwedeng kahit hindi consecutive, basta aggregate days of more than 183 days. So, ibig sabihin, kung Filipino citizen ka, tapos hindi sinabi, anong gagawin mo sa abroad? Hindi sinabi kung OFW, hindi mo sinabi kung mag-i-immigrate ka. Anong ginawa mo? Nag-stay ka lang outside the Philippines. Ilang araw ba? More than 183 days. O ibig sabihin, classified ka as non-resident citizen. Eh sir, paano pag nag-stay ako eksakto 183 days? Anong classification ko? Filipino ka, no? Resident citizen tayo. Eh less than 183 days, resident citizen tayo. Okay, specifically provided, sinabi dapat more than 183 days para maging classified as non-resident citizen. Dito sa taxation, since halong batas and accounting to, kapag sinabing batas, dapat specifically provided sa batas. Kung ano yung sinabi ng batas, yun yung susundin natin. Hindi tayo pwedeng mag-exhibition dito. Okay, kung gusto mo mag-exhibition, magluto ka na lang. Mag-exhibition ka doon. Okay? Joke lang. Diba? Pag nagluluto, nag-exhibition ka. Kahit hindi nasa kahit wala sa recipe, gusto mo lang lagyan kasi gusto mo lang. Exhibition. Move on tayo sa resident alien. Kapag resident alien, ano yan? Alien yan. Kapag sinabing alien, foreigner yan. Tama? Resident, nakatira sa Pilipinas. So, ibig sabihin, si resident alien, isang foreigner na nakatira dito sa Pilipinas. Take note, dapat nakatira. Ha? Hindi lang nagbabakasyon, dapat dito na nakatira. Okay? Pang-apat, non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. Ano yan? Foreigner yan. Na hindi nakatira kasi nga non-resident. Pero sabi engaged in trade or business. Ibig sabihin, merong business dito sa Pilipinas. Okay. Okay tayo. Okay tayo ha. Pag sinabing engaged in trade or business, tatandaan mo lang. This does not include the performance from employment. Okay? Meron kang employer-employee relationship dito sa Pilipinas, tapos dito ka tumira, okay, dito ka nagtrabaho sa Pilipinas for employment purposes. Hindi yun part ng trade or business. Pero, it includes, pag sinabing trade or business, it includes performance for public office. Pag nagtrabaho sa government naman, foreigner ka, nagtrabaho ka sa government, tapos trabaho ka sa government, part ka, ibig sabihin, ito ka, engage in trade or business, non-resident. Hindi ka nakatira dito. Okay? Paano hindi nakatira, sir? Hindi ka gumawa ng bahay dito. Ang ginawa mo lang, nagbakasyon. Parang nagbakasyon ka lang. Kasi mabilis ka lang dito. Bakit ka naman mabilis dito? Anong ginawa mo? Dito lang, sir. Gumawa lang ako ng performance. Nag-render lang ako ng service. Para saan? Sa public office. Non-resident alien, engage in trade or business ka. Oh. Paano, sir? Foreigner ako. Hindi ako nakatira sa Pilipinas kasi mabilis lang ako. Tapos nagtrabaho ako. Engage ka, tama. Nagtrabaho ka. Pero saan ka ba nagtrabaho? Employment, sir, private company. O hindi ka engaged in trade or business. Anong classification mo? Non-resident alien, not engaged in trade or business naman. Okay, ulitin ko. It does not include kapag sinabing engaged in trade or business. Yung trade or business na yan, hindi kasama dyan yung performance of employment. Pero kasama dyan kapag nag-perform ka through public office. Kung mo dyan. Okay, kasi kapag sinabing trade or business, business mismo talaga yan. Meron kang pinagkakakitaan dito na business. Okay? Okay. Sir, paano pag hindi sinabi? Hindi sinabi kung may trabaho ba dito o ano. Anong sinabi lang? Yung days na nag-stay ako dito. Meron tayong threshold dyan. Kaya ang threshold naman natin dyan. Dito, kapag si foreigner na hindi nakatira dito sa Pilipinas is nag-stay for a period of 180 days. Okay? Itong sinabing period of 180 days, pwedeng equal to 180 days or 180 days sakto or more than 180 days. Pwede yan. Kanina, natatandaan mo yung difference ha? Baka malito ka. Kapag non-resident citizen, nag-stay ka sa Pilipinas or nag-stay ka outside the Philippines for more than 183 days, non-resident citizen ka. Kapag nag-stay ka ng eksaktong 183 days, resident citizen ka na, bes. Pero kapag non-resident alien engaged, yung threshold dyan, 180 days lang, hindi 183 days. And dito, okay lang kahit eksaktong 180 days ka na nag-stay dito sa Philippines. Kasi pag 180 days ka nag-stay sa Philippines or more than 180 days ka nag-stay sa Philippines, subject ka or part ka ng non-resident alien that are engaged in trade or business. Okay? Pag hindi ka part nitong NRA-ETB, dito ka na ngayon sa NRA-NETB. Importante na malaman mo itong 5 classification of individual taxpayers natin, ha. Bakit? Kasi iba-iba yung treatment nila. Paanong iba-iba? Okay? Ganito kasi yan. Ito, yung mga classification of taxpayers. Classification of individual taxpayers. Tama. Balikan natin yung general rule natin sa territorial jurisdiction. Anong sabi ko doon? Lahat ng income na na-earn sa Pilipinas, taxable sa Pilipinas. Yung income na na-earned outside the Philippines, hindi na taxable yan sa Pilipinas. Ngayon, itong mga tao na to, in being an individual taxpayer, possible na mag-incur sila ng income within the Philippines or without the Philippines. Pag sinabing within the Philippines, inside the Philippines yan. Nag-incur ng income inside the Philippines. Pag without, nag-incur ng income outside the Philippines. General rule natin ulit, lahat ng income na na-earned inside the Philippines taxable. So, ibig sabihin, regardless kung RC ka man, NRC ka man, RA ka man, NRA-ETB ka man, or NRA-NETB ka man, taxable lahat ng income mo basta na-incur mo yan inside the Philippines. Yun yung general rule, tama? Exceptions to that general rule. Ito yung unang exception natin. Okay, ito yung unang exception. If you are a resident citizen, income earned outside or inside the Philippines are taxable. So, yan yung isang exception. Kapag ikaw daw is isang Pilipino na nakatira sa Pilipinas, yung income mo daw inside the Philippines, taxable na, pati din yung income mo daw outside the Philippines. The rest of individual taxpayers, hindi na taxable yung income outside the Philippines. Okay? Yan yung isang exception natin. Okay. Ngayon, gusto ko lang i-emphasize dito na si non-resident alien that is not engaged in trade or business, isa to sa differences nila. Lagyan natin ng asterisk dito. Kasi itong tax or itong income ni NRA-NETB dito is subject sa 25% final tax. Generally, tax rate niyan 25% final tax of gross income. Okay, subject sa 25% yan. Usually, fixed yan. Tandaan mo yun, ha, fixed yan. 25% kapag non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business ka. Kuha natin yan. Sana, ha, nakuha, ha. Ulitin ko lang, ha. General rule natin, lahat ng income na na-earn inside the Philippines, taxable sa Pilipinas yan. Kaya lahat ng na-earn na income sa Pilipinas, tinax natin kahit anong klaseng individual taxpayer ka pa. Exception to the general rule lang, yung resident citizen. Pag resident citizen daw, lahat ng income mo inside, tapos outside the Philippines, i-tax natin yan. Okay na? Okay. Ngayon, question. Sir, paano ko malalaman kung yung income ba namin is na-earned inside the Philippines or outside the Philippines? Ibig sabihin ba, sir, basta naka-incur ako ng interest dito sa Pilipinas, itatax na sa Pilipinas? Basta ba nagbenta ako dito sa Pilipinas, income na yun dito sa Pilipinas? Hindi naman. Paano natin malalaman yan? Ito ngayon yun. Depende kung ano yung source of income natin. Okay? Ano ba yung income na na-incur mo? Yan yung source of income. Okay? So, from these sources of income, hanapin natin yung identifier para malaman natin kung taxable ba siya inside or earned ba siya inside or outside the Philippines. Okay? Unang source of income natin usually, syempre, business. Pag naka-earn ka ng income sa business, yung tatandaan mo ditong identifier, taxable siya or income siya inside the Philippines or income siya outside the Philippines, depende sa place of business or the place of operation. Saan ba nag-operate yung business mo? Sir, meron akong business ng mga ballpen dito sa Pilipinas. O sige, dito sa Pilipinas. Saan nagbebenta yung business mo na yan? Sir, sa abroad eh. Hindi ka nagbebenta sa Pilipinas? Hindi sir eh. O yung income from business mo, kahit na nakalocate yun dito sa Pilipinas, since nagbenta ka, doon ka nag-ooperate outside the abroad, outside the Philippines, income yun outside the Philippines. Place of business or place of operation. Pangalawa, sir, wala akong business, mahirap lang ako. Anong ginagawa mo? Ano sir? Alipin ako ng salapi, empleyado lang ako. O ano yun? Service. Meron kang income from service. So kapag service yung in-incur mo na income, yung identifier natin dyan is yung place of performance. Sir, nagtrabaho ako. O saan ka nagtrabaho? Sir, nagtrabaho ako. Yung company ko, foreign company eh. Paris-based. O, saan ka nagtrabaho? Saan mo ni-renter yung service mo? Dito sir, sa Pilipinas. O, taxable yun inside the Philippines. Kahit na yung company na nagbibigay sa'yo ng income, na nagbibigay sa'yo ng salary, is nasa abroad. Basta dito ka nag-renter ng service, taxable yun sa Pilipinas. Place of performance. Saan mo ginawa yung service? Okay? Sige. Pangatlo, yung income ko nanggaling sa property. Yung property natin dalawa, tama? It's either real property or personal property. Pag sinabing real property, immovable properties yan. Pag personal property, movable properties naman yan. Ngayon, kapag nagbenta ka or nagkaroon ka ng income from real property, pwedeng sabihin na natin sale of real property, okay, sale of real property. Nagbenta ka ng real property. Ano yung identifier natin dito? Yung location of the property. Saan nakalocate yung property mo? Sir, may building ako, binenta ko. Saan nakalocate yung building? Dito sir, sa Laguna. Saan yung Laguna? Nasa Philippines yun sir eh. O, yung income na nag-incur mo sa sale of real property, taxable yun sa Pilipinas kasi yung property mo inside the Philippines. Kung inside the Philippines yan, may jurisdiction sa Pilipinas dyan, income yan inside the Philippines. Taxable yan sa Pilipinas. Okay? Ngayon, kapag personal property, hatiin natin sa dalawa si personal property. Kasi si personal property, pwede nating hatiin as tangible personal property and si intangible personal property. Pag tangible, nahahawakan. Pag intangible, hindi nahahawakan. So, unahin natin. Kapag tangible personal property. Kapag yung source of income mo is from tangible personal property, yung identifier natin dito is yung place of sale. Saan mo binenta yung personal property? Sir, ano ba yung example ng personal property natin? Okay, personal property, movable yan. Ano yan? Tas tangible, nahahawakan yan. Example niyan, kotse. Meron kang kotse. Saan yung kotse mo? Nakagarahe sir sa bahay. Nasaan ba yung bahay mo? Nandito sir sa Pangasinan. Nasa Pilipinas yun. Tama. Saan mo binenta? Saan kayo nagbentahan? Sir, sa Japan eh. Oh, yung Japan, outside the Philippines yun, kahit na nandito nakalocate yung kotse mo, kung binenta mo sa Japan, yung income mo na na-earn doon sa pagbenta ng personal property that is tangible, income yun outside the Philippines. Kasi yung identifier natin kung saan mo binenta, hindi sa kung saan nakalocate yung property. Kapag tangible personal property. Okay? Sige. Next tayo ha. Number 5, kapag intangible naman. Intangible personal property. Kapag intangible personal property ang usapan, yung identifier natin dito is yung residence of the issuer. Ano ba example ng intangible personal properties? Sir, ano yan? Copyright, patent, ganun. Software, ganun yung nasa isip mo, no? Tama, yes. Yun yung mga intangible personal properties. Pero under taxation lang pag sinabing intangible personal properties, isama mo dyan yung mga accounts receivables. Part ng intangible personal property yan. Pwede ding debts. Part ng intangible personal property yan. Pwede ding stocks. Okay? Hindi mo naman kasi nahahawakan din yung mga yan. So for example, meron kang receivable or meron kang stocks sa isang company na located dito sa Pilipinas. Or meron kang receivables. Kung receivables mo yan, payable yan ng ibang tao, tama? Yung receivable ko, sir, kay Kay Mr. P. Saan nakatira si Mr. P? Sa Pilipinas, sir. O income yan inside the Philippines. Residence of the issuer. Okay, yan yung number 5. Actually, may number 6 pa. Si number 6 is kapag yung income is na-earn mo through dividends or dividend income. Yung identifier mo kapag dividend income is yung place of incorporation. Pag sinabing place of incorporation, kanino nang gagaling si dividend income? Sa corporation, tama? Si corporation, kapag yung corporation is incorporated dito sa Pilipinas, taxable yan inside the Philippines. Paano ko malalaman, sir, kung incorporated dito sa Pilipinas yan? Actually, meron pang classification si corporations. It's either domestic corporations, resident foreign corporations, or non-resident foreign corporations. Pero i-discuss na natin yan kapag nasa topic na tayo ng dividends or ng corporation itself. Sa ngayon, mag-focus muna tayo sa individuals. Okay? Okay. So, ulitin natin Si individual taxpayers, importante na malaman mo yung classifications niyan. Okay? Kasi yung mga income na na-earn inside the Philippines, taxable yan sa lahat nitong classification na to, except pag resident citizen na taxable outside the Philippines pa rin. Okay, paano natin malalaman ulit kung yung income is earned inside the Philippines? Depende yun, sir, sa source. Depende yun sa source of income. Okay, ayan Ayan tayo Sige. Sige, so move on tayo. Kung marirecall mo kanina, tatlo yung types of tax natin for individual taxpayer, tama? Una, meron kang regular income tax. Recall lang ulit natin. Regular income tax. Pangalawa, final withholding tax. And pangatlo, capital gains tax. Si regular income tax, residual definition yan. Final withholding tax, passive income yan. Capital gains tax, capital gains yan. For today, mag-focus tayo muna dito sa final withholding tax. Okay, final withholding tax are income from passive income, from passive sources, passive income yan, na na-subject sa final withholding tax. Final withholding tax. Si final withholding tax, sabi ko kanina, tama, schedular system yan of tax. Pag schedular, fixed yung tax rate niyan. Okay, sige. Define muna natin si final withholding tax. Si final withholding tax, meron niyang list. List of certain passive income that are subject sa final withholding tax. Isa-isahin natin yung list later on. Pero sa ngayon, i-define natin or i-breakdown natin what is final withholding tax. Hindi mo to dapat makalimutan kasi from the word itself, hindi mo dapat makalimutan yung meaning ng final withholding tax kasi yung meaning niya nasa pangalan na niya mismo. Tax, it is a tax. Buwis yan. Final, pag sinabing final, these taxes na na-compute mo after mong i-multiply yung certain percentage are final. Pag sinabing final, wala nang certain additions, certain deductions. Kung magkano yung na-compute mo, yun na yung babayaran na tax. From the word itself, withholding, winidhold. Pag sinabing winidhold, hinawakan. Para ma-identify mo itong withholding, lagyan natin ng illustration. Let's say for example, si Mr. P. Si Mr. P, nag-invest, sabihin na natin, kay Chowking. Nag-invest kay Chowking ng 100,000. Okay, nung nag-invest si Chowking ng 100,000, tama, possible na magkaroon ng income. Tawagin natin muna yung income as interest income for this illustration purposes only. So, merong interest income si Mr. P galing kay Chowking, sabihin na natin nasa 10,000 pesos. Okay, itong interest income na yan, ano yan? Passive income. Actually, one of the passive income that are subject sa final withholding tax is an interest income. So, si interest income, ang tax rate niyan, 20% based sa final withholding tax. So, income mo, 10,000. Tax mo, 20%. So, magkano yung tax payable natin? Tama, kanina sinabi ko, paano mo siya i-solve? Gross income times percentage is equal to the net or tax payable. Magkano gross income? Ito, 10,000. Percentage, magkano? Ito, 20%. Multiply mo lang yan directly, magkano to? 2,000 pesos. 2,000 pesos, yan yung tax natin. Okay, sir, ano nga ibig sabihin? Ito ngayon, itong 2,000, final yan. Final yan. Sir, ano nga yung 2,000? Question. Sino yung naka-incur ng income? Si Mr. P. Tama. Magkano yung income? 10,000. Sino yung tinax? Si Mr. P. Kasi siya yung nagkaroon ng income. Income taxation tayo, yung tinatax natin yung income. Sino yung merong income? Si Mr. P. Si Mr. P ngayon, taxable. Tama, taxable si Mr. P. O, isang question, sino magbabayad ng tax? Who will pay the tax? Tanong, ang sagot dyan, si Chowking. Si Chowking, siya yung tatawagin natin as withholding agent. Siya yung magwi-withhold ng tax. Ulitin ko, yung tinax natin si Mr. P, yung magbabayad ng tax si Chowking. Sir, paano yun? Nagbigay na nga ng pera na 10,000 pesos si Chowking kay Mr. P eh. Tapos magbabayad pa siya ng 10,000. Hindi naman yun grabe. Bakit? Kasi yung 10,000 na to, na dapat marireceive ni Mr. P, i-less mo yung 2,000 pesos na tax, yung marireceive lang na cash ni Mr. P is nasa 8,000 pesos. Net of tax na yan. Ito lang marireceive ni Mr. P, 8,000. Kasi ngayon 2,000, i-withhold ni Chowking. Withhold. Sinabi, hahawakan ni Chowking. Itatago ni Chowking. Kasi si Chowking, ibabayad yan kay BIR. Kasi siya yung required na magbayad kay BIR kasi si Chowking is a withholding agent. So, yan yung concept ni final withholding tax. It is a tax. It is a buwis that is final. Kasi kung magkano yung sinolve mo, yun na yung itatax mo. And it is withholding kasi yung magbabayad, hindi ikaw na naka-incur ng income, but rather yung tao na nagbayad ng income. Wini-withhold nila yung tax na supposed to be babayaran mo, tapos sila yung magbabayad sa BIR. Okay? Malinaw naman siguro yan, no? Okay. Sige. So, daanan natin ngayon. Ano ba yung mga list of final withholding tax na yan? Ano ba yung mga list na yan? Kanina pa ako naku-curious sa list na yan eh. Actually, yung list na yan, sobrang dami yan. Okay. Final withholding tax, marami talaga yan. Ang role mo as a student, i-memorize yan talaga. Okay, sobrang dami yan. Huwag kang magre-reklamo na sobrang dami ng tax rate kasi binemorize ko rin yan. Okay? Kailangan mong i-memorize yan. Wala akong magagawa, hindi kita matutulungan doon. I-memorize at i-memorize mo talaga yan. So, ang role ko nga na lang ngayon dito is paano natin padadaliin yung pag-memorize mo. Para hindi ka naman masyadong mahirapan kasi alam ko, reklamador ka pa naman. Okay, sige. Gamit tayo ngayon ng mnemonics. Ito. RIP SWD. Yan yung mnemonics natin. Okay, tabi-tabi po. Sana walang William and David dito. Pero kung basahin ko to, rest in peace sa'yo, William and David. Okay, RIP SWD. Isa-isayin natin. R stands for royalties. Meron kang income from royalties. Royalty income yan. Kapag usapang royalty income, tatandaan mo, dalawa lang naman yan. Okay? Unang royalty income is royalties from books, musical compositions, and literary works. And other literary works. Okay, so yan si unang royalties. Pangalawang royalties natin, kapag hindi part ng books, musical compositions, and literary works, tawagin natin siya as other kinds of royalties. So, other royalties. So, yan yung dalawang royalties natin. From books, musical compositions, and literary works, tapos yung iba't ibang klase ng royalties. Unang example ng royalties na hindi kasama sa number 1, pwede dyan, si software, si patent, or si trademark. May mga royalties naman yun. Okay, sige. Bakit ba kailangan nating i-classify yung royalties into 2? Kasi magkaiba yung tax rate niyan. Okay, depende yan. Kung yung income taxpayer is either resident citizen, non-resident citizen, or is a resident alien. Tapos dito, non-resident alien that is engaged in trade or business. Tapos dito, si non-resident alien that is not engaged in trade or business. Okay, kasi nga, kapag yung royalties nanggaling sa books, literary works, or musical compositions, they are taxed in a fixed percentage of 10%. Final withholding tax yan. Same yan dito, tapos dito 25%. Sabi ko nga kanina, si non-resident alien not engaged, 25% yung tax rate niyan. Yun yung general rule natin. Kapag yung royalties na galing from other royalties, hindi kasama sa number 1, tax rate dito is nasa 20%. Dito, 25% pa rin. Okay, so yan yung royalties natin. Okay, tayo. Okay, isa pa pala, hindi ko alam, nakalimutan ko yata. Yung final withholding tax na to, yung mga passive income dito, na tinidiscuss ko at i-discuss ko mamaya, yung mga passive income, specifically provided, dapat it must be earned inside the Philippines. Dapat earned yan inside the Philippines. Okay? Eh sir, paano pag resident citizen? Eh, yung passive income ko, which is yung for example, royalties ko, naka-earn ako outside the Philippines. Ano mangyayari dun sa income ko na yun? Eh, hindi yun na-earn inside the Philippines. Exempted na ba yun? Hindi. Taxable pa rin yun. Okay? Yung income mo na hindi mo na earned inside the Philippines, pero resident citizen ka, taxable pa rin yun. Pero hindi yun part ng final withholding tax. Saan yun part, sir? Sa part na yun ng regular income tax. Okay, so bakit naman part ng regular income tax yun? Isipin natin. Dito parang hindi magubilan. Isipin natin. Si Mr. P ulit, nag-invest, sabihin na natin kay Mang Inasal. 100,000 din. Si Mang Inasal nag-incur ng income o nagbigay ng income 10,000 pesos ulit. Interest yan. Si Mang Inasal nakalocate abroad. Wala sa Pilipinas. So yung 10,000 na earned ni Mr. P. Income yan. Si Mr. P, resident citizen. Taxable ba yan? Taxable ba yan? Yes. Taxable. Yan. Sir, interest yan. O, yung interest sir, sabi mo, part yun ng passive income na subject sa final withholding tax. Sabi ko nga, earn siya abroad Kailangan earned inside the Philippines. So, anong gagawin natin dito sa 10,000 pesos? Yung 10,000 pesos, marireceive yan ng buo. Marireceive yan ng buo ni Mr. P. Tapos kasama yan, part yan ng ordinary income, part yan ng subject yan sa regular income tax. Mamaya, madidiscuss natin yan kapag nasa regular income tax na tayo. Or sa next video na yun actually. Kasi for today, mag-focus lang tayo sa final withholding tax. Okay, subject yan sa regular income tax. Kanina, nag-withhold ka, tama. Ang na-receive ni Mr. P, magkano? 8,000 na lang. Kasi yung 2,000, winithhold ni Chowking. Si Mang Inasal, na located abroad, hindi niya winithhold yung 2,000 kasi 10,000 ibibigay niya ng buo kay Mr. P. Sir, bakit? Bakit ganun pa? Bakit hindi na lang pinarehas? Isipin mo, common sense tayo. Si Mang Inasal located abroad, sabihin na natin nakalocate yan Canada. Si Canada, kukunin pa yung 2,000 pesos, tapos i-remit pa sa BIR. Nakalocate ka na sa Philippines Magmamigrate ka pa papuntang Pilipinas para lang magbayad ng 2,000 pesos. Wag na, pamasahe lang niya yun. So, anong gagawin? Ibigay na lang ni Mang Inasal yung buong 10,000 kay Mr. P, tapos si Mr. P, siya na lang magbayad ng tax. Pero hindi na final withholding tax, but rather regular income tax. Yun yung purpose. Okay? Kaya yung income na na-earn mo outside abroad, na passive income, subject sa regular income tax. Sabi ko nga kanina, tama, dun sa unang discussion natin, nasaan yung paper natin ngayon? Ito, tama, merong certain passive income na subject sa final withholding tax. Meron ding mga passive income na subject sa regular income tax. Unang example niyan, pag meron kang income na na-earned mo outside the Philippines. Kasi hindi sila subject sa final withholding tax but subject sa regular income tax. So, ayun sana malinaw yun. Dapat, para mas subject sa final withholding tax, dapat yung income mo na earned mo inside the Philippines. Next tayo. Yung I, yung isang I, it stands for interest. Yan, sa interest na tayo. Si interest, tatandaan mo, 3 lang yan. Okay? Unang interest natin. Meron kang interest income from local currency bank deposit. Ano yan, sir? Savings account. Pwede din time deposit account. Pwede din trust fund. Pwede din deposit substitutes or any other similar arrangements. Part yan dito. Local currency of bank deposits. Interest income na na-earn mo dito. Savings yan. Basta take note, naka-local currency dapat. Ibig sabihin, naka-Philippine peso. Yung dineposit mo dyan, naka-Philippine peso. Yung na-earn na income niya, naka-Philippine peso. Part yun ng interest income that is from local currency bank deposit. Okay? Yung pangalawang interest natin, meron kang interest income from foreign currency deposit unit or FCDU. Minsan tinatawag din siya as FCDS or the Foreign Currency Deposit System. Kaya ano naman difference? Actually same lang yan. Etong bangko na to, nag-deposit ka sa bangko, pareha siya na nag-deposit ka sa bangko na located sa Pilipinas kasi nga dapat earn siya inside the Philippines. Pero si foreign currency, dito, naka-foreign currency. Yung dineposit mo, naka-foreign currency na. Yung na-earn na income yan, naka-foreign currency na. Okay? Pangatlo, na interest is yung mga long-term deposits. Or, pwede din, pre-terminated long-term deposit. Kapag sinabi mong long-term deposit, ito, dapat more than 5 years. Equal to or more than 5 years dapat yan. Pag sinabi mong pre-terminated long-term deposit, kasi kapag sinabi mong long-term deposit, magmamature yan 5 years. Ibig sabihin, makokolekta mo yung deposit na yan, yung investment na yan, within 5 years. Paano kapag walang-wala ka na, walang-wala ka ng pera, kailangan mo talaga yung in-invest mo sa long-term deposit, pwede mo namang makuha, pero ang tawag na doon, pre-terminated long-term deposit. Okay, naka-invest ka sa long-term deposit which is more than 5 years pero bigla mong kinuha kasi kailangan mo ng pera. Pre-terminated. So yan yung tatlong interest natin na subject sa final withholding tax. Okay, tax rate tayo. Kapag meron kang interest income from local currency bank deposits, yung tax rate natin dyan is actually 20%. Same lang yan dito, 20%, tapos ito, 25%. Dito ngayon, interest income from foreign currency deposit unit, yung tax rate natin dito is 15%. Provided, okay, specifically provided, na applicable lang yan 15% kapag ikaw is resident citizen or a resident alien. Kapag non-resident citizen ka, hindi yan applicable si 15%. But rather, exempted yan. Kasi si non-resident alien engage in trade or business, exempted to. Exempted yan. Okay, exempted sila yan. So, anong rationale? Bakit exempted? Ano yung income mo? Foreign currency. Foreign currency ka, tapos taxable ka lang inside the Philippines, i-exempt na natin. Kasi ito, income daw yan outside the Philippines. Yun ang sabi. Okay, kaya exempted sila. Okay, take note mo lang kapag interest income from foreign currency deposit unit, ang tax rate 15%. Na yung 15% applicable lang sa resident citizen tapos sa resident alien. Hindi na applicable sa non-resident citizen. Kasi si non-resident citizen, nandito yan. Exempted na din siya. Same neto. Tapos ito, exempted din, hindi subject sa 25%. Okay? Okay na tayo? Sige. Next tayo, long-term deposits. Si long-term deposits, ganito yan. Kapag winidraw mo, okay, kapag winidraw mo yung deposit mo for, let's say for example, more than 5 years. Okay? Kapag more than 5 years bago mo winidraw yung isang long-term deposit mo, yung tax rate natin dyan is actually 0%. 0% or is exempted tayo. Dito, 25% pa rin. Okay, exemption yan. 0% yan. Ang percentage mo dyan. Or, tawagin na natin, exempt nga. Exempt sila, 25% dito. Kapag yung long-term deposit mo is pre-terminated, labis sabihin na natin, sir, hindi ko natapos yung 5 years. O kailan mo winidraw? Natapos ko, sir, hanggang 4 years. Pero, hindi ko talaga natapos yung 5 years eh. So, more than 4 years, but is less than 5 years, 4 to 5 years, yung tax rate natin dito, sa final withholding tax is nasa 5%. 5%, dito general rule pa rin natin, 25%. Sir, hindi 4 years eh. Hindi ko naabot yung 4 years. Kailangan ko na talaga. O kailan? 3 years, sir. O 3 to 4 years. Kapag na-pre-terminate mo, 3 to 4 years, tax rate na natin dito, 12%. Dito, 25% pa rin. Sir, masyado matagal yung 3 years. Di ko talaga inaabot. O ano nangyari? Winidraw ko, sir, for less than 3 years. O kapag winidraw mo for less than 3 years, ang tax rate na natin dito, 20%. Dito, 25% pa rin. Ang daming tax rate, no? Ganun talaga. Ang gagawin natin dyan. Paiba-iba pa, sir. Ano ba yan? Magdasal ka na lang. Sana yung nasa problem, yung binigay sa exam, non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. Para hindi mo na isipin kung anong tax rate kasi 25% lang naman halos lahat yan, no? Pray well, guys. Okay tayo dyan, ha? Oh. Dahil tapos na tayo, royalties and interest. Dami na ba? Alam mo kung ano pa mas nakakainis dyan? Guguluhin ko pa yung isip mo eh. Bakit? Kasi nagkaroon tayo ng provisions. Anong provisions na naman yan, sir? Beginning July 1, 2025. Ngayon lang yan, no? Nakaraang buwan lang yan. Pinatupad si MEPA. Ang sabi dyan, Capital Markets Efficiency Promotions Act. Sabi, according to Capital Market Efficiency and Promotions Act, sabi, baguhin natin to, may inconsistencies. Lagyan ko na lang ng red ballpen, ha. Sabi, yung interest income from foreign currency deposit unit, ni-revise yan under MEPA, ginawa yan 20% na to, applicable na yan sa resident citizen, non-resident citizen, and resident alien. Yung non-resident alien engaged in trade or business, wag na natin i-exempt, i-tax na din natin ng 20%. Ito, wag na din daw natin i-exempt, i-tax na natin ng 25%. Ito yung changes. Beginning July 1, 2025. Sabi yan sa MEPA. Bagong batas lang yan sa tax code. O ano pa yung isang provision, sir? Ito pa, binago din to. Si long-term deposit at si pre-terminated long-term deposit. Anong ginawa? Inalis yung exemptions kapag more than 5 years. Tapos hanggang less than 3 years. Anong ginawa, sir? Ginawa na yan fixed rate of 20%. Wala nang long-term deposit, pre-terminated deposit na sinasabi. Ano gagawin na? Tax na natin lahat yan, 20%. Ito, 25% pa rin lahat yan. Oh, sir, madali nang i-memorize, no? Hindi ko na i-memorize yung more than 5 years or etc. na hanggang less than 3 years na iba-iba yung tax rate kasi fixed na yung 20%. Yes, dumali na. Ang kaso, anong sabi sa problem? Pag yung sabi sa problem yung year 2026 na, wala ka ng problema. Ito na yung gagamitin mo. E paano pag nagbigay pa ng problem 2024, 2023? Alisin mo yung MEPA. Mag-focus ka lang dito sa iba. Kailangan mo pa rin i-memorize yan. Kasi we never know kung ano yung lalabas sa exam. Okay? Kaya mas mabuti, alam mo lahat ng tax rate. Nung lumabas yung MEPA, and bago lumabas yung MEPA. Okay? Okay. So, yan. Si royalties and si interest. Sige. Actually, lipat na tayo sa next page. So, isa-isa na lang natin muna to. Si P, actually si P, dalawa lang yan. Okay? Sulat mo na lang dyan, ha? Dalawa lang si P. Si S stands for share in net income of ordinary partnership. Meron kang share sa net income ng isang ordinary partnership. Yan yung S natin. Actually si S, and ito si D. Si D stands for dividend. Dividend income is merong same treatment. So same treatment lang yan. So i-discuss na natin siya kapag nasa dividend section na tayo. Yung value, ito, tatandaan mo, 3 lang yan. Okay, so RIP, SWD, R, 2 lang, I, 3 lang, si P, 2 lang. Si S tapos si D, same treatment yan. Si W, 3 lang. So, tapos na tayo sa R, tapos na tayo sa I, pasukin na natin si S. Okay, pasukin na natin si S. Or, R, I, P pala. Pasukin na natin si P. P stands for prices. Okay? Prices yan. Sabi ko nga, si prices 2 lang. Sige, lagyan muna natin dito ng classification of taxpayers ulit. Resident citizen, non-resident citizen, resident alien. So ito, non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. So ito. Sige. Si prices, 2 lang yan din. Tama. Unang prices mo, prices or income from prices that is more than 10,000 pesos. Yung pangalawa, kapag yung na-earn mo na prices or yung income mo from prices is equal to or is less than 10,000 pesos. Kapag yung prices mo na na-earned is more than 10,000 pesos, yung tax rate natin dito is nasa 20%. Dito, 25% pa rin. Okay tayo? Okay. Kapag yung prices mo is na-earn mo is equal to or is less than 10,000 pesos, tatandaan mo, same classifications tayo dito. Part sila ng ordinary income subject sa regular income tax. Okay, sabi ko sa regular income tax, hindi na yan part ng final withholding tax. Kapag yung prices na na-earn mo is equal to or is less than 10,000 pesos. Pero syempre, kung non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business ka, yung regular income tax mo kasi subject pa rin sa 25% na final tax. So, yan yung prices natin. Dalawa lang yan. Yung S, tapos si D, sabay natin i-discuss. So, move on tayo sa W. W stands for winnings. Yung winnings, tatlo. Tama. Yung unang winnings mo, nagkaroon ka ng winnings from PCSO or from Lotto winnings. Okay, from Lotto winnings or from PCSO or Lotto winnings, which is yung income mo, yung income mo is more than 10,000 pesos. Or pwede din yung pangalawa, yung income mo is equal to or is less than 10,000 pesos. Then pangatlo is yung other winnings. Nagkaroon ka ng winnings na hindi galing sa PCSO or Lotto winnings. So ano bang difference yung prices tapos winnings? Parang iisa lang yan ha. Yung prices dito, meron kasi nalihang contest. Yung winnings dito, nagsugal ka, kaya ka nanalo. Nagsugal ka saan? PCSO or Lotto winnings. Nagsugal ka saan? Any other na sugal. Basta hindi kasama sa PCSO and Lotto winnings, yun yung other winnings natin. Other winnings dito, regardless of the amount. Parang regardless of the amount, wala kang pakialam kung more than 10,000 or equal to 10,000 pesos, iisa lang yung treatment kapag other winnings. Yung threshold na 10,000 pesos, applicable lang kung yung winnings mo is from PCSO or from Lotto winnings. Kapag PCSO and Lotto winnings that is more than 10,000 pesos, yung tax rate natin dito is actually 20%. Tapos dito, 25%. Okay, kapag equal to or is less than 10,000 pesos, dito, tatandaan mo, exempted na yan. Exempted, lahat yan. Kapag other winnings, 20% din yan. Okay? So, yan yung mga tax rate natin for final withholding tax. So, marami, no? Marami talaga. Ganun talaga. Wala tayong magagawa dyan. So, balikan natin. Ulitin natin. Yung final withholding taxes natin, kailangan natin i-memorize pati yung mga tax rates. Mnemonics natin, RIP, SWD. R stands for royalties. Dalawa lang yan. From royalty from books, musical compositions, and literary works. Yung isang R, other royalties. Yung I, interest income from local currency bank deposit units. Tatlo yan. Tatlo yung I natin na interest. Yung pangalawa is yung interest income from foreign currency bank deposit unit. Then yung pangatlo yung mga long-term deposits. CP prices, dalawa lang yan. Tama? Kapag more than 10,000 or kapag equal to or is less than 10,000. Pag S, share in net income of ordinary partnership, pero same lang yan sa dividends. Yung W, winnings, tatlo lang yan. PCSO Lotto winnings, that is more than 10,000 pesos. Tapos yung PCSO Lotto winnings, that is equal to or is less than 10,000 pesos. Tapos yung isa, PCSO Lotto, any other types of winnings na hindi mo na-earned sa PCSO or Lotto winnings. Okay? So yan yung final withholding tax. Ulitin ko, kailangan mo talagang i-memorize yan. Tsagain mo lang. ka mag-alala, memorize ko nga ngayon, no? Dapat memorize mo din yan. Kinaya ko, kaya mo din yan. Wala naman tayong pagkakaiba. Okay, kaya ko, sigurado, kaya mo rin. So let's cut muna dito sa final withholding tax. Yung shares in the net income of ordinary partnership, tapos yung dividends, i-discuss natin some other time. Next video, pasukin natin yung capital gains tax and yung regular income tax. Ito lang muna. Masyado nang mahaba. Ciao!